Hello, friends, and welcome to Kardec Radio's beautiful and blessed 8th anniversary. What a blessing from on high! More than 3,700 podcasts, unique listeners like you in 120 countries. 24 hours of programs nourishing our souls. So much to be grateful for. First, to our beloved Lord of Life, then to our one and only Jesus Christ, our Master, then to the beautiful efforts of Allan Kardec, this amazing, unprecedented missionary educator who brought us treasures from immortality directly from the heart of the Christ to the earth. And then to Dr. Vanessa Anceloni, this beautiful soul, pioneer of the good, miracle worker of the Lord, opening so many doors for all of us to meet with the Christ and transform our hearts into a temple of light. Thank you, Vanessa. We love you so much, and we cannot express our gratitude for everything that you do. Kardec Radio would not be here without you. Right, Virginia? You are so right. You are a beautiful worker of our Master Jesus. Thank you, Virginia. You are a star of light in our hearts. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you, Vanessa. You are more than adorable. You are a flame of light shining through, right? Hello, Sol Souza, Nora Brazil, Juliana Bonatis. What an honor to be here in this intercontinental classroom celebrating, as Mentor Joseph, Vanessa's spirit mentor, reminds us, the independence of our souls. Yes, dear friends, how do we become independent? The recipe, so to speak, comes from the Christ, our Master. He has recommended, first, that we love one another, and second, that we instruct ourselves so that we may put love into action, dear friends. As our dear Emmanuel reminded us in the opening of the book Paul and Stephen by Chico Xavier, God is in urgent need of a work well done. So let us celebrate the independence of our souls, learning more and more with the Christ, awakening our Christ consciousness. Right, Raphael? You're right. It is a great day. We also celebrate the independence of our souls, freeing ourselves from old conditionings and lovingly preparing the soils of our eternal souls to follow the loving seeds of the Christ that are sprouting all the more in the gardens of our lives. Right, dear friends? Yes, it feels good to talk about the good, to do the good, and to celebrate the good always. Right, Karina Lisi? Beautiful worker of the light. Right, Teresa Castro? Welcome, dear friends. What an honor to celebrate this beautiful day with you guys. Thank you so much. I'm already so emotional because it is a great honor to be part of this efforts coming directly from the Christ. Hello, Chico, our beautiful brother. Big kiss to you. And today, dear friends, to celebrate Kardec Radio's 8th anniversary, always nourishing our souls, we are going to study in this intercontinental classroom with a wonderful professor, the Spirit Humberto de Campos, or Brother X, who transmitted beautiful, enriching messages through our beloved Chico Xavier. So tonight we are going to dedicate our program to one of Humberto de Campos' very unique messages published for the first time in English at the Spiritus magazine. Did you know, dear friends, that the Spiritus magazine has been an effort that was started by Allan Kardec himself in the year of 1858? Yes, and Dr. Vanessa Anceloni is not only the founder of Kardec Radio, but she's also the editor-in-chief of this beautiful magazine for the first time being published in English. Yes, and there are 46 issues, dear friends, available completely free of charge. You may be wondering, wow, Carol, how may we enjoy this treasure? Excellent question, dear friend. Right, Marilda Veiga? Hello, beautiful child of God. Yes, so how may we enjoy this treasure, dear friends? Very easily. I don't know if you can see very clearly, but there is an application free of charge that you can download from the Apple Store, from the Spiritus magazine, and you may download also free of charge this issue that we are going to read from, issue 46, and also all others. There are 11 years of work, dear friends, available to us in English with unprecedented messages in the beautiful English language. So today we are going to celebrate Kardec Radio's birthday with one of those loving messages entitled Up to One's Conscience by the Spirit Brother X. Our source is the Spiritus magazine. All right? We are going to get started. We will bring for us to meditate upon about 6 highlights from this beautiful message. Let's get started. Hello, Marcos Perin. Welcome, dear friend. Hello, Angelita. Always spreading fraternity around the world. Welcome, dear friend. Wonderful to see you here. Welcome, welcome. So the Spirit Humberto de Campos, Brother X, begins the message by saying, "You declare yourself, my friend, to be extremely fatigued in the struggle for the victory of the good. And in your letter, you ask, 'What to do, Brother X?' I cannot take any more insults, misunderstandings, sarcasms, criticisms. I only think of a retreat, quietude, and a night when I can sleep. If I dream of something which I cannot quite remember, it is of a hammock, vividly and insensately depicted on my mind." So first pause for us, dear friends. When we think of the hammock, the image that Humberto de Campos brings to our minds here, we think of vacation, right? Usually a very tropical, beautiful, lovely place where we can rest the mind and the spirit. But we as spiritists, dear friends, have an additional awareness that our other brothers and sisters may not completely be aware of. And that awareness is that we are not on earth on vacation, dear friends. Why? How do we know that? Because we know that the earth is a planet that is still progressing. And in its current state, dear friends, we know that our earth functions as a school and as a hospital and as a prison for all of us depending on our stage of evolution. So because one of the primary functions of our beautiful planet Mother Earth is to educate our spirits, dear friends, we are not here on this beautiful Mother Earth to prioritize resting. But Carol, are you saying that resting is a mistake? No, of course not. We have the physical body and we are to care for it because it is the temple through which we are reincarnated and we can operate on the earth, correct? Yes, so we shall honor our physical body, but we shall not, dear friends, prioritize our own comfort. Yes, we are on earth, as the Spirit Mentor Emmanuel reminds us, to visualize the good, feel the good, do the good, and mold the good with all the resources that we have at hand. So time, dear friends, does not belong to us as we may believe. Time, in reality, belongs to the Lord of life. So when we go through our day, dear friends, we may ask ourselves, as Benjamin Franklin started to do, and as St. Augustine recommends, we may ask ourselves, how are we utilizing of the gift of time? Yes, because time is a gift from God. How much of our time are we dedicating to doing the good? And how may we do the good? We may start, dear friends, in the realms of our feelings. Then we may educate the realms of our thoughts. And from feelings and thoughts, we may manifest positive, beautiful intentions in the form of actions. So right now, dear friends, together as we celebrate Kardec Radio's 8th anniversary, we are all doing the good because we prioritized educating our souls, supporting one another, and continuing to spread the seeds of light given to us by the Christ with others. Right, Elsa Rossi, big hug to you. I'm so happy you are with us. Welcome, beautiful child of God. Yes. So we, dear friends, are prioritizing right now not being in a hammock and satisfying our immediate impulses, but rather educating our souls, using our consciousness and our human condition to go beyond our instincts. Yes, our instincts sometimes may tell us, I need to rest, I want to retire, I would like to have a boat, I need such and such car to be happy, I would like to have the quote-unquote American dream come to me. But we, dear friends, are not here on earth to satisfy our instincts, because as humans, we are to use, as Kardec reminds us, both reason and faith to rise above our instincts and use our discernment to love one another. As the Spirit, Dias da Cruz, reminds us in the book Pews of Trust, we are dreams of the Creator waiting to be unfolded. So, first therapeutic quiz for us, dear friends. How much are we making use of our time on the benefit of nourishing our souls as well as the souls of others? 0, not at all. 10, all the time. But you may say, I have a hard time leaving my home because of X, Y, and Z issues. How may we move beyond that, dear friends, with our thoughts, feelings, and prayers, so we can be useful to others at all times, right? So first therapeutic quiz for us. Let us do an inner investigation and try to see for ourselves how much we are utilizing our time to nourish our souls as well as the souls of others. Let us continue now, dear friends, with this beautiful message. Humberto de Campos then tells us, "Indeed, my friend, fatigue is one of the greatest sufferings. However, since you ask us for our opinion, I beg for your permission to narrate a passing occurrence from the realms of the shadow to you." Pause for our second reflection. We learn with Humberto de Campos, Brother X, in this message that we are constantly under the influence of the scarlet spirits, that we don't live completely in isolation, in a bubble. Rather, God has created our society, both in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm, to be under interaction and collaboration at all times. So this is a kind reminder of Humberto de Campos letting us know, inviting us to wear bifocal glasses, dear friends, so we can stay grounded on the physical realm, but also remind ourselves that we are under spiritual influence and that we are spirits living a material experience that is temporary and is of educative purposes, right? So therapeutic quiz number 2. How much do we stop to remember, dear friends, our true nature during the day? Do we stop to remember that we are eternal spirits living a temporary material experience? How much? 0, I don't think of it at all, and 10, I remind myself of that every day. If we remind ourselves of our true nature, we are empowering ourselves to make better, more conscious, Christ-guided, and God-centered decisions. Shall we, dear friends? Yes, because we are all children of God, destined to progress, right, Elsa Rossi? Yes. So let us continue now, dear friends, and see how the meeting in the realms of shadows was reported by Humberto de Campos. Humberto de Campos tells us that in this meeting, there is a gathering of workers of the quote-unquote darkness. And in this meeting, each worker reports to their supervisor, so to speak, what they have been doing, what actions they have been taking to affect the works of the gospel of Jesus in their own words. So you may be asking, wow, Carol, so does that mean that we are targeted? Yes, that means that we are targeted because we are in constant interaction with the other realm of life, dear friends. This is why our Master Jesus recommended for us to watch and pray. Now we are going to see what the workers of the darkness, so to speak, have to report to us as far as their strategies to impede the workers of the light from moving forward. It's important for us to have awareness of what happens on the other side of life, dear friends. Not to be scared, but to be empowered to use our free will to make more and more Christ-centered choices. Shall we? Yes. Welcome, sunshine. Always allowing your light to shine on Kardec Radio and beyond. Welcome, dear friend. So let us see how the meeting undergoes. One of the workers of darkness reports to the supervisor, "Last month I threw an enraged dog against two workers of the good who studied the gospel and was successful in putting death into action." The supervisor responds, "Fruitless work." Can you believe it, dear friends? Yes, because outside of the physical body, the workers of the light have a greater range of action to be part of. So this was the first strategy. Let's take note of the strategies that are targeted towards the workers of the gospel of the Christ. First one, death. Second one, let's see what Humberto de Campos reports. Second one, dear friends, is intrigues that were created against one such worker of Jesus. And as a result, she experienced abandonment of both her husband and her children. And you may be saying, "Oh, Carol, this is such a gloomy account." No, dear friends, this is actually a gift from above, because it's a reality check for all of us regarding the importance of staying Christ-centered. So, strategy number one again, death of the physical body. Strategy number two, intrigue and separation. And the supervisor of the darkness says, this is a very unproductive effort, because the woman will win at last. This is his words, by means of her abnegation. Wow, surprising, right, dear friends? So this message from the beyond, as reported by Humberto de Campos, is actually encouraging to us, because it is up to us to transform every difficulty that we may face into an opportunity to grow upwards and towards the Christ, right? Yes. So let's look at the third strategy that was used. Third strategy, slander. The worker of the darkness reports, "Supervisor, I created a slander against the workers of the light so that they could be removed from their group of apprentices." Slander, strategy number 3. Strategy number 1, death. Strategy number 2, intrigue and separation. Strategy number 3, slander. And what is the response of the supervisor? "Oh, this is not really worth our while." He says it's a frustrated enterprise, because they are going to use this opportunity to work with Jesus through example. So once again, dear friends, we see that even in the face of difficulty, we can transform our circumstances beautifully and find joy, courage, and hope within our pathway. These, according to Christ Jesus, our Master, are the trademarks of the follower of the good news, as reported in the very book Good News. So we are being invited through this message, dear friends, to find courage, hope, and joy in every circumstance of our lives, trusting that we are being lovingly guided by the loving hands of our Master Jesus. And friends, there is yet another strategy that is reported to us from the realms of darkness. This is the most important one and the focus of our discussion tonight. So this is the central point. The worker of darkness reports to the supervisor, quote, "Boss, it seems as though what I am about to tell you is a lie, but I have for long come to realize that persecution only serves to promote the persecuted. For this reason, I suppose that the best means of annulling Jesus' collaborators is to magnify their minor feelings of depression and put them to sleep. In 6 months, I have placed 80 gospel workers out of action in nursing homes, beds, hammocks, and quilts. Such a recipe does not fail. The person experiences slight fatigue, and I come in with the old hypnosis. The result is always on target. Sleep that does not end. In this way, the best of these people of Christ no longer work, neither on earth nor in heaven. The Great One frantically applauded the assistant and dismissed the presence of all other participants in order to better understand the sagacious companion. Wow, what a beautiful alert from the beyond, from on high to us, dear friends. We know that with our bifocal glasses, through the loving mediumship of Chico Xavier and the efforts of Brother X, we now know that fatigue is one of the most powerful strategies used in the other side of life to annul the workers of the Christ. As incipient apprentices of our Master, dear friends, we shall ask ourselves a fourth therapeutic question. How much are we allowing physical and mental fatigue to put a brake on our works? Have we asked ourselves, I can't do the good right now because I am too busy with work, because the conditions of my life are not perfect, because I shall need to retire first, because I am a mother or a father, so I shall prioritize my family, because my nuclear family is elsewhere in another country, so I must attend to them first and foremost, because I lack the financial resources that I believe are necessary to do the work of the good, because my partner, friend, spouse, companion, family member does not comprehend my efforts, because no one else in my family is a spiritist, because I live in a country where my native language is not spoken, because spiritist centers here are not crowded, because I must prioritize my own survival before I can care for someone else. Are these thoughts coming to us at all, dear friends? Because if they are, that shows that we are still at this moment in time putting conditions, placing conditions in the sacred opportunities that God has granted us for us to progress in this lifetime. We know through Spiritism, dear friends, that we who are Spiritists have been prepared to reincarnate. Yes, because we have been given the responsibility to carry the flame of the sacred and pure Christianism back to the earth and keep it lit, dear friends. And we know that we plan our lives with the help of spirit mentors before returning. We know that we have a beautiful reincarnatory plan, and within this plan are all the conditions that we need to not only grow individually, but support one another collectively as co-creators with God, our Mother and Father above. So, dear friends, let us meditate. Who are we to impose conditions? Have we ever heard of the Christ Jesus of the earth, our master and model, imposing conditions? Have we ever heard of him saying statements such as, "Oh, Peter, your home is too small. I'm not comfortable. I don't want to stay here." Or, "Oh, I don't even have shoes to wear. How am I going to walk to another city to help others? Oh my goodness, I need to sleep. I cannot attend to these people this late at night. No way. Oh, I need to care for myself first. I haven't had a meal yet. So let me pause for my own lunch before I take care of any person that comes my way." Or have we heard of our Master Jesus and Lord, dear friends, our guide and model, saying to any of us, "Hello, I am the Master. I actually co-created the earth, you know. I know all of you, and I commend you to do this and that and the other, and I'm just going to stay here resting. Or I'm going to wait until we make the necessary financial resources with our fishing in order for me to go on expeditions spreading the joys of the good news." Have we ever heard, dear friends, of our loving Master imposing such conditions for the work in the good? Can we imagine if he had imposed such conditions? We would most definitely not be here right now. As a matter of fact, as Spiritists, we know we are here, dear friends, solely first and foremost because the Christ directly is vouching for each and every one of us. So let us honor the confidence that our Master is placing within our hearts. And when we feel fatigue, dear friends, let us strengthen ourselves, renew ourselves, and say, "Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity. I know I am physically tired, but I shall never be spiritually tired of spreading love, because the love I feel does not come from me, it comes from you, and it is a great honor, Master, to be a vessel of your love." Shall we, dear friends? Yes, Humberto de Campos, in the same message, in the conclusion of this message, reports to us an advice from a spirit mentor that spoke to him when he as well felt fatigue. And this is another beautiful piece of advice that we would like to take to heart, dear friends, in this day of beautiful independence of our souls. The advice from the spirit mentor to Humberto de Campos and all of us is as follows, quote, "My dear, if you feel as though your strength is wearing down, try to improve yourself, to renew yourself, but be very cautious with such matters. Fatigue does exist, but this is a matter that is always up to one's conscience, because as far as we know, no one to this day has been able to truly verify where fatigue ends and laziness begins," end quote. So here's an advice for us, dear friends. Let us meditate upon these words of great wisdom and bring them to action in our lives. Let us not surrender to the voices of fatigue that are in fact not ours. Let us not worry about stopping ourselves from doing the good, because not even our physical body belongs to us. Our physical body is actually a loan from the Creator. So as long as we are making use of our physical body for the good, we are being useful in the hands of God. And we may think, but Carol, what does it mean to work for the good and be a worker of the light on earth? Actually, dear friends, our beloved Kardec answers this very question to us. I'm going to open the Spirit's book to show you exactly where this question is. It is question 675 under the law of labor, the necessity of labor. I'm going to take the liberty of reading question 675. Kardec asks, should we understand labor to entail only material occupation? Answer from the illuminated spirits, no. The spirit labors as much as the body. Every useful occupation is labor. So, dear friends, we are being invited tonight to not only dedicate ourselves to our material labor or professional labor, however honorable it may be, and however much of a mission it may be. This is not our only goal in life. We shall only achieve spiritual independence, freedom with the Christ, when we learn to be useful with the Spirit. What does it mean to be spiritually useful? First, it means to educate our thoughts according to the law of the mental field, explained by the Spirit André Lewis in the book Evolution in Two Worlds. According to André Lewis, dear friends, that there are two currents, energetic, electric, magnetic currents, that we connect the Wi-Fi of our spirits constantly. One is the destructive current, and the other one is the constructive current. The destructive current is the one that finds the negative in situations, and is the one that leads us to laziness, as reported by the Spirit Humberto de Campos. This spiritual cracks when we connect to the negative, or when we focus on our own needs excessively, dear friends, are the spiritual cracks that cause us to, at times, stop the work of the good. These are spiritual illusions, hypnosis that we are exposed to because we chose to connect to the destructive currents of life. So, therapeutic quiz number 5, I believe. How much are we educating our thoughts? 0 to 10. 0, not at all. I think whatever I would like. 10, I'm constantly making choices, thinking and feeling for the good, believing in my divine nature. Yes, this is an important question. We have a Wi-Fi that is inbuilt in our spirits, and it's constantly connecting us to other minds because we are never alone. So let us surround ourselves with minds that will support our growth, dear friends, and not surrender to laziness. Let us cultivate useful thoughts, loving, divine feelings, and let us translate those thoughts and feelings into useful actions. What are useful actions, dear friends? Any action that reflects our love for one another, fraternal love for one another. So even a smile, dear friends, is a useful action. Listening with respect to one another is another useful action. Looking at someone in the eyes and recognizing in that person without words that they are a child of God and deserve to be loved and recognized as such is a useful action. Praying for one another is a useful action. Conversing with our spirit mentors is a useful action. Praying for the guardian angels of others as we interact with one another is a useful action. Believing in the divine nature of those around us, dear friends, as well as our own, is a useful action. So as we celebrate Kardec Radio's 8th anniversary, dear friends, let us commit to nourish our souls from the inside out, allowing the seeds of divinity and positivity to grow from within, allowing our human nature to become all the more divine by cultivating useful thoughts and feelings that will automatically translate into love in action. How else, dear friends, may we practice the good? We learn in the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 17, how to seek for spiritual growth. In the chapter 17, entitled Be Perfect under Duty, dear friends. In this beautiful chapter, we see that being useful spiritually is an actual duty before the eyes of God. How do we know, dear friends? Because we are all co-creators with God. You may be asking me, why me? Because you are a child of God. That's right, exactly. So God is counting on you. And doing our best to fulfill God's will by being useful is actually our duty, as reminded to us in the Gospel according to Spiritism, translated into English by our dear Janet Duncan, right, Elsa Rossi, someone who is not lazy at all and who at the age of 90 plus dedicates herself to the mission of the Christ on earth, to the educative proposal of the Christ on earth. Many, many blessings to Janet Duncan. So we learn that duty, being useful spiritually, is a very difficult one to fulfill. Why? Because it usually is in antagonism with the seductions of interest and of the heart. So yes, because the earth is still evolving, dear friends, what we consider spiritually useful may not be considered as such by the mainstream. For example, it is spiritually useful to not drink alcohol because we learn that our physical bodies are alone to us, a temple of light given to us by God. So we shall do our best to maintain it to the best of our ability. And engaging in drinking alcohol actually leads us to indirect suicide. So we have a duty to care for our physical temple. And this duty exactly now on earth may be in antagonism with the interests of the majority. So we shall, dear friends, make the choice of walking with the Christ, of putting into practice the knowledge we know, because we love God and we love ourselves as children of God. So it is worth it. We are being invited by the spirit mentors of Kardec Radio to be useful, starting in our thoughts and feelings and then in actions, and giving up the interests that are often celebrated currently, but that are in antagonism with our duty before God, right? Next, we learn that as we try to be our best to be useful, the victories we are able to achieve have no witnesses, and the failures have no repression. Why? Because God grants us free will and gives us in our human stage our consciousness that, according to the gospel, according to Spiritism, and I quote, is our guardian of interior integrity that alerts and sustains us, dear friends. So how do we know if we are being useful, avoiding laziness, and fulfilling our duty? We learn here once again on chapter 17 of the Gospel, item 7, entitled Duty, that we know that we are being useful because we are able to carry forth a clear conscience. So we deserve, dear friends, as our beautiful spirit mentor Emmanuel tells us in the book Thought and Life, chapter 10, entitled Understanding, we are blessed with the opportunity to be reincarnated in order to free ourselves from the shackles of the past. How do we free ourselves from the shackle of the past? Doing the good. And when we do the good, we carry on with a clear consciousness. So let us grant ourselves, dear friends, the gift of a clear consciousness, knowing that when we fulfill our spiritual duties, not only our material duties, but mostly our spiritual duties for which we have reincarnated, we feel good. We truly nourish our souls because we become useful in the loving hands of God. So here's an invitation, dear friends, for us to celebrate Kardec Radio's 8th birthday by becoming all the more useful and by recycling the impulses of fatigue, the impulses of laziness into opportunities to practice and offer all the more fraternal love to one another. Shall we, dear friends? Yes, according to Humberto de Campos, it is up to our consciousness to make this loving choice. So we end our program tonight thanking our dear Creator for the gift of our consciousness that allows us to make use of our free will all the more lovingly and usefully, thanks to the treasures of Spiritism that awaken our souls by showing us immortal realities that we were before unable to see. We thank you, Master Jesus, for the opportunity to give us eyes that truly see life as it is. Thank you, Humberto de Campos, loving spirit and teacher, for this beautiful message calling us to be useful even in the realms of our thoughts, knowing that we are eternal spirits destined to progress towards God. Please guide us, Mother, Father, God, in realizing that we are here solely to be instruments of your love. Encourage us, dear loving God, our Mother and Father from above, to consciously choose to be co-creators of life with you. Thank you for the gift of our human condition that allows us to make loving choices in the school of life. Blessed be the school of life that offers us all the opportunities to grow towards you and to recognize your greatness. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for offering us the blessings of Kardec Radio, the Spiritist magazine, and all sources of light that you have allowed to manifest on this earth. May we make use of every moment of every day to collaborate with you so that your light shall shine forth at all times. And so be it. Yay! Wonderful, dear friends. Thank you for the beautiful gift of your company, right, Gabriel Inácio, Tommy Lee, and Robson Santos. It's wonderful to nourish our souls together with Kardec Radio. So let us allow, dear friends, our light to shine. This little light of ours, we are gonna let it shine. This little light of ours, we are gonna let it shine. This little light of ours, we are gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Happy Independence Day of the Spirit. Happy birthday, Kardec Radio. May Christ bless us with many, many more opportunities to learn and to grow together always. Bye, friends. Many beautiful blessings to you.